Most people open up Claude Code, start chatting with it immediately, and only realize about 10% of what it's actually capable of. So in this video, I'm gonna give you an advanced Claude Code tutorial where I show you my real professional setup, walk through the 5 layers of Claude Code, and go over creating skills, sub-agents, connecting to MCP servers, and build a much deeper understanding of how Claude Code works so you can use it better in your workflow. Then at the end, I will show you my 5 secret prompting practices that help me maximize the power of Claude Code. Let's get started. First up, the memory layer with CloudMD files. Stop dumping everything into one CloudMD file. Most teams think AI fails because the models are not smart enough. That's rarely the problem. When you put every rule, every convention, every architecture decision into one giant file, then you create context noise, conflicting instructions, and lower accuracy. It's like putting your entire codebase into one single class. The fix is nested CloudMD files. 4 rules to remember. Global rules at the top, more specific rules in deeper folders, deeper files override higher ones, and nested files only load when Claude works in that directory. So your root holds the standards, component folders hold framework patterns, and local files hold your personal preferences. Here is a real example. A ticket booking platform, a monorepo. The root CloudMD holds TypeScript and PNPM rules. The web apps CloudMD holds Next.js, AppRouter, and the CEO rules. The mobile folders CloudMD holds everything specific to the mobile app. 3 things this gets you. Token efficiency, Claude only loads what's relevant. Team scalability, front-end owns the front-end rules, back-end owns the back-end rules. And higher accuracy, fewer conflicting instructions, and more consistent output. One more place worth mentioning, the global level. A CloudMD in your home.claude folder applies to every project on your machine. For mine, I use Andrei's Karpathy's CloudMD file. It's perfect for most projects. It defines rules like think before coding, simplicity first, or don't touch working code unless explicitly asked. Give it a try, highly recommend it. Link in the description below. Next, the knowledge layer with skills. Claude Code has a feature that 90% of developers either ignore or use wrong. It's called skills. Most devs think a skill is a markdown file. It's not. A skill is a folder. SkillMD is just the entry point. Here is why that's important. Claude only loads the supporting files when it actually needs them. It's called progressive disclosure, which means your main context stays clean no matter how much folders or files you put into a skill. Inside the folder, it starts with the SkillMD file at the top. Then you have templates, scripts, references, and the gotchas file. Each one a separate concern. Every SkillMD starts with YAML front matter between 3 dashes. That's where you configure how the skill behaves. Things like name, description, hooks, or allowed tools. 3 mistakes most devs make with skills. Mistake 1. Vague descriptions. The description is not for you. It's for Claude. At session start, Claude scans every description so it knows what skills are available. If you write, for example, helps with deployment, Claude has no clue when to use it. Your skill might as well not exist. Instead, write something like when the user wants to deploy, push to prod, or release. And Claude fires every time. Mistake 2, no gotcha section. This ends up being the most valuable file in any skill. Every time Claude messes up using your skill, add the mistake to gotchas. Over time, the gotchas file teaches Claude how to use your skill better than the skill MD itself. Mistake 3. Instructions instead of scripts. Don't prompt everything. Without scripts, Claude reinvents the wheel every single turn. With scripts, it just orchestrates. Calls your deploy script, your test runner, or your health check. Claude spends its intelligence on decision, not on remembering how your toolchain works. 2 final tips on skills. First, to build skills the right way, use the official skill creator from Anthropic. It interviews you, writes the skill MD file, runs test prompts, and iterates on the description until it triggers reliably. This is the fastest way to ship a quality skill. And second, add context fork to your front matter. That runs the skill in an isolated subagent with its own conversation, history, and tool calls, instead of running inside your main session. Less noise, cleaner context. Third, the delegation layer with subagents. There are hundreds of ways to build AI agents right now. Most take too long. Claude Code gives you a faster path. You can spin up a real agent in minutes. So what's a subagent? Think of it as a specialized worker with its own context window, its own system prompt, and its own tool access. Instead of putting research, testing, and debugging into one giant conversation, you hand a specific job to a focus worker and get back just a result. And the powerful thing, you can reuse the same agent again and again. Just tell Claude in your terminal, go use my tester agent, go use my GitHub agent, go use my deployment agent. That's it, works like charm. The easiest way to start is by typing /agents. Type that and you get the subagent interface. From there you can see existing agents, create new ones, edit them, or manage which ones are active. 7 steps to your first agent. First, type /agents. Second, open library, create new. Third, pick persona for global access. Fourth, select manual, then name it. Fifth, write a real system prompt, not lazy. Sixth, define when it should be used. And the last, pick the model, color, and memory scope. If you would rather skip the wizard, subagents are just Markdown files with YAML front matter. They live at the .claude/agents for project-specific ones, or in your home.claude/agents for personal ones across all your projects. And the front matter does 4 jobs. Name gives identity, description triggers delegation, tools define capability, and the body becomes the system prompt. 3 rules for agents. Rule number 1, don't make a super agent. Give it one narrow job. 2, don't use description as a label. Use it as a trigger. It's how Claude decides when to call your agent. And finally, keep tools tight. Only the ones that agent actually needs. Less surprises, more predictable behavior. And the move that really compounds, pair skills with subagents. Add an agent field to your skills front matter and they are wired together. And the fourth, the guardrails layer with hooks. Hooks lets you run commands before or after Claude runs a tool. So you can run a code formatter after every file edit. Or run tests when files change. Or just block access to specific files entirely. Think of them as a middleware between Claude's decisions and your codebase. Here is the flow. Claude decides what to call, your pre-hook runs, the tool executes, your post-hook runs. There are more than 30 types of hooks, but the famous ones are the pre-tool use and the post-tool use. You can configure them the same way as skills or agents, global, project, or local level. Just type /hooks to set them up interactively. And my favorite hook, and I'm gonna own this one. If you ever run multiple Claude sessions in different terminals, you know how it goes. You walk away to grab a coffee, come back 15 minutes later, and find none of them still running. Either Claude finished ages ago and is just sitting there, or it's been waiting on a permission prompt the whole time. So, to fix this, I set up a hook that plays a sound whenever Claude pings me. That's Claude. That's also Claude. Still Claude. Oh, my team surely loves me. And the last layer, the context layer with MCP servers. MCP stands for Model Context Protocol. In plain English, it's how Claude connects to external tools, databases, and APIs. And here is the thing. Every dev I onboard has installed 15 MCP servers and wonders why Claude is slow and confused. Each one needs context. More servers doesn't mean better results. It just means more noise drowning out the signal. Personally, I run just 3. They cover 90% of what I actually need. First, the context 7. This MCP pulls your library docs on demand. So Claude stops hallucinating React 18 APIs when you are actually on React 19. Second, Playwright for browser automation. Claude can fill out forms, click buttons, take screenshots, and actually verify your UI renders the right way. Third, Chrome DevTools. This connects Claude to a real running browser. It reads your console errors and your DOM directly. No more copy-pasting stack traces back and forth. That's it. 3 servers all configured in .mcp.json file at your project root committed to Git. Auto-approve them in your settings and you will stop clicking through permission prompts all day. Less context noise, sharper output. And finally, here comes the workflow that connects everything together. Most devs jump straight to the implementation. They prompt, code drops, they ship, then they regret. The fix is a 4-step loop you run on every meaningful change. Explore, plan, code, review. Each step has a specific goal that gets you out of vibe coding territory. First, explore. You start by exploring the codebase for the feature you are about to implement. This is the greatest trick when working with Claude Code, and it's true for any LLM agent or AI tool. Explore the context before doing any work. Let Claude read your codebase without touching any code. Next, plan. Brainstorm ideas with Claude. Claude is great at asking and answering questions and collecting all the info it needs to write the plan. Then step 3, ask Claude to implement that plan using your best practices, which I hope you have already stored in your CloudMD file. And step 4, review. Make sure the code actually follows the best engineering practices. Claude Code has a phenomenal feature for planning called Plan Mode. You toggle into it with Shift-Tab cycle through the modes until you hit Plan. In Plan Mode, you tell Claude to read and understand the codebase. Then ask for a plan. Claude automatically spawns Explore and Plan agents to do the work. If something is unclear, it will ask you for input. Then after some thinking, Claude comes back with a fully detailed plan. You can accept it, request changes, or ask questions. Plan mode is perfect for big features, something like multi-file refactors, integrations, or architectural changes. For minor bug fixes, small features, or trivial changes, just skip plan mode entirely and say, hey, analyze the codebase, make a plan, then implement. Same workflow, lower friction. Then once all that's done, the final step, code reviews. Friends, don't neglect code reviews. Claude is pretty good at it, but I use an even better tool, CodeRabbit's Claude Code plugin. The good thing about CodeRabbit is that it spawns a real review infrastructure based on actual review best practices to check the quality of your code. It's pretty easy to set up. First, install the CodeRabbit CLI and authenticate. Then in Claude Code/plugin, browse, install CodeRabbit. Then /reload plugins. Then /CodeRabbit : CodeRabbit review. Then you wait. Good things take time. In the end, you get a full code review you can act on to push quality up. Or if you just wanna run CodeRabbit in your CLI, then you can install it and start using it for free by using this command. And we are done with the main features of Claude Code. Know the part I promised. And now comes the 5 prompting techniques I use with every single client. They are simple, but they work like magic. The catch is that you need discipline to use them every time. Number 1. Spec then roast. Before I write any code, I write a short spec for what I want to build. Then I send Claude this prompt. Read the spec and interview me using the Ask User Question tool about anything, UX, edge cases, and trade-offs. Make sure the questions are not obvious. Keep going until it's complete, then write it to the file. By using so, Claude grills you. And by the time you are done, you have already worked out every edge case before writing a single line of code. Just one catch. Use this for small vertical slices, one small feature at a time. If you try to spec out everything at once, you have just reinvented waterfall. Number 2, don't tell, ask for options. When I am not sure how to approach something, I never tell Claude what to do. Instead, I say, give me multiple approaches with pros and cons. Don't pick one, I will decide. Here is the thing about AI. It doesn't have a taste. It's incredible at executing once you point it somewhere, but it needs you to make the calls. That's your job now. You think, you decide, AI executes the rest. Your most important skill is your critical thinking. Number 3. Short prompts beat long ones. OpenAI just dropped GPT 5.5 early this month with a new prompting guide. And both that guide and Anthropic's recent context engineering post said the same thing. Outcome-first prompts beat the long, process-heavy ones. The old habits we picked up 2 years ago are actively holding the new models back. So stop writing essays. Just state the goal, the constraints, and what done looks like. That's all you need. Number 4, and this is my favorite, adopt the breaking mindset. Claude is good at building, but it's also great at breaking, but only if you ask it to. By default, Claude Code is polite. It assumes your code works. So when I finish a feature, before shipping, I prompt the following. You are an attacker trying to exploit the system. Find the bugs, the attack vectors, and the edge cases I missed. Give me a full report with severities. Try it today, and I bet you will be surprised what comes back. And the last prompting practice, grill before PR. Before I let Claude open a pull request, I send this. Grill me on these changes. Don't open the PR until I pass your test. This practice flips the dynamic. Suddenly, Claude becomes the senior engineer asking, "Are you sure?" And most of the time, you are not. And that's the answer. This alone has saved me dozens of revisions. That's it. 5 techniques, steal them all. If you actually start using only these from this video, you will be already ahead of 90% of software engineers out there. And that was it. If you got value out of this, do me one favor. Subscribe to the channel and drop your favorite Claude Code feature in the comments below. Take care and see you in the next one.